Gold Diggers. I'm Sonia Brown.
And I'm Lamika Weeks.
We're continuing our discussion on the 4 disciplines of execution. This week we're going to discuss the discipline of engagement and how important it is in order to achieve your goals. But before we get into it too far, what we'd like to do is recap the first 2 disciplines. Discipline 1 is focus. Focus on creating your wildly important goals. You want to have no more than 2 because you want to be able to give adequate attention to those goals.
Yes.
Any more than 2, you're less likely to achieve those goals.
Absolutely.
The other thing that you want to do is focus on those behavioral changes that you will need to make in order to achieve those wildly important goals.
Yes, absolutely. And so discipline 2 is about leverage. So you've created your wildly important goals, and now you're going to need leverage, which is going to create your lead and your lag measures.
Yes.
And that lead measure is going to be the things you have control over, which will result in the outcome of your lag measures. We've used the example of weight loss. So when you step on the scale, that would be your lag measure, but your lead measure would be the types of foods that you're eating and how much food you're eating, as well as your exercise. So those are 2 things that you can control, which will then give you the outcome of your lag measure of stepping on the scale.
Exactly. So you've got your first discipline of focus, your second discipline of leverage, and today we're going to talk to you about and discuss with you the third discipline of engagement. Now, this is a really fun discipline for me because it talks about creating that compelling scoreboard. We all know that when it comes to sports, whether it's basketball, football, hockey, no matter what the sport is, there's a scoreboard. And that scoreboard is going to help keep players motivated. It keeps the players in the game and it keeps them focused on what it is that they need to do, and their ultimate goal is to win that game.
Right.
With creating your scoreboard, your compelling scoreboard, there are 4 things that you need to keep in mind. The first thing that you want to do is you want to keep it simple. You don't need a lot of information on that because, of course, you're going to have a player scoreboard and you also have the coach's scoreboard. For this, we are the players when we're trying to achieve our goals. So as the player, our scoreboards need to be simple. So we want to keep them simple. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our scoreboard is prominently displayed. We want to make sure that we can always see our scoreboard at any given point in the game.
Right. The third component of your scoreboard is having your lead and your lag measure available on the scoreboard, which will allow you to be able to see exactly where you are, which leads me to the fourth one, is you need to be able to tell at a glance if you're winning so that you can make the adjustments that you need to whenever you're viewing your scoreboard.
Exactly. So with that said, you've got your 4 components to your scoreboard. Remember the example goal that we gave of weight loss? The way you would create your compelling scoreboard for weight loss is this way. You definitely want to have your current weight on there. You definitely want to have the date with which you plan to have lost your weight.
Yes.
Then those are going to be things as far as your timing is concerned. You want to also make sure that you have your food intake, what you're eating on a daily basis, as well as the amount of physical activity or working out that you're doing on that scoreboard. Those would be your lead measures. Your lag measure would be
your current weight.
Your current weight.
When you step onto the scale. So what you see on the scale is going to be that lag measure.
Exactly. So this scoreboard, once you create this scoreboard, and it can look any way you want it to look. We're just giving you the components that need to be on that particular scoreboard. But once you create that scoreboard, you should be able to look at it at a moment's notice and know whether or not you're on target to hit your goal weight, or if you need to make some adjustments. And that's really what the game is all about when you think about it. You see where you are, you see where you want to be, and you make the necessary adjustments as you go along.
Right. And enjoy making the scoreboard, but you just want to make sure you have those components on it. And you can, add pictures to it or those types of things if you want to. But you just want to make sure that you keep it simple. You make sure that you have it visible for you to be able to see it, have your lead and lag measures on it, and you want to make sure that
at a moment's notice, you can tell whether or not you're on track to win and to reach that goal, to reach that WIG, that wildly important goal.
Yeah.
All right? So that's it for this week. We've recapped disciplines 1 and 2, focus and leverage, and we've discussed with you discipline 3, which is engagement. Next week, we're going to move into execution. Disciplines 1 through 3 have gotten us ready for the game.
Yes.
Discipline 4 is the game. It's
Absolutely.
all about execution, and it's all about achieving those wildly important goals. So until then, we want you to imagine, plan, and achieve. Continue to read your book. Continue to hit us up on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and of course, YouTube. And all of those can be reached at 2 Goal Diggers. It's the number 2 and GOAL Diggers.
Yes.
All right? That's it for today. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.